Police have identified the seventh person killed in Monday's parade shooting as 69-year-old Eduardo Uvaldo. The other victims are 64-year-old Catherine Goldstein and 88-year-old Stephen Strauss. Also killed was 78-year-old Nicolas Toledo, who was visiting from Mexico. 63-year-old Jacqueline Sondheim was enjoying the parade when she was gunned down. She was a teacher at a local synagogue. 37-year-old Kevin McCarthy and his 35-year-old wife, Irina, were at the parade with their toddler when they were killed. Strangers noticed the 2-year-old unattended and pulled him to safety. He was later reunited with his grandparents.
Let's bring in Brittany Wroblewski. She witnessed Monday's shooting in Highland Park. Brittany, thank you so much for being with us. I mean, the first question is, how are you and your family doing? I understand you were there with your family at the parade.
Yeah, thank you. My family is physically safe and home together, but our community is absolutely devastated, and mentally it's going to take a while.
Brittany, can you tell us a little bit about what you saw and experienced on that terrible day?
Yeah, it was, it started out as what I would call a boring suburban 4th of July plan. The plan was our local community parade and then a family barbecue. My husband and I both grew up in Highland Park, and we made a choice to raise our family here in our wonderful community. There is a kiddie parade that starts 30 minutes before the official parade every year. I actually grew up decorating my tricycle and my bicycles and doing the parade as well. So it was nostalgic to now be marching as a parent in the children's parade. My son decorated his lawnmower that blows bubbles. He's 2 years old. And we walked, through the parade line, waved to many friends and, classmates, families of his. And my family, his grandparents and my brother and sister, my son's aunt and uncle, were his cheering section outside of our local Dairy Queen. And we reunited with them, after we had marched in the kiddie parade. And just minutes later, what began as a wonderful 4th of July celebration turned into just a horrifying nightmare for every person at the parade.
Brittany, I'm actually from the Chicagoland area, just to the west, essentially, of the Highland Park area. And, you talk about those boring suburban parades. I think about those and think about just the fondness of those memories of childhood, as you talk about 4th of July, Veterans Day parades. I mean, those are the things that are really quite common and known to folks in the Chicagoland area as moments to treasure. I wonder what it is that your son has been asking about in the wake of this tragedy. What kind of questions has he had for you and your husband, and what have you told him?
My son is, we're fortunate that he's not going to remember much of this, just being, 2 years old. But, after we heard those terrifying pops that were extremely loud and consecutive, and they went for a long time, it was seconds, but it just keeps playing slow motion in my mind. We ran, and as we were running, I was separated from the rest of my family. He kept crying and saying, "Why are we running? Why are we running?" And then he later on in the day, when we were home safe, hours later, put him down for his nap. He said, "Mommy, no more running." And it broke my heart because he was confused. It was clearly on his mind. I've, over the last 48 hours, politicians, people of influence have come out with statements and videos. I think my 2-year-old said it best: "Mommy, no more running. We are done. I've had enough. I am a nobody mom from a small community. I am a mom, a wife, I am a daughter, a friend. I work a full-time job. I've had it. Enough. We need to ban assault rifles. They have no place in our communities and at a 4th of July parade."
I think a lot of people agree with you, Brittany, but I do want to ask you, you're the mother of a 2-year-old, as you said. Thankfully, you and your family escaped safely. What was your reaction, though, when you heard about that other 2-year-old who lost both of his parents in that shooting there at the parade?
Gutted, speechless, could have been my son. I don't have words to express that a toddler arrived with two parents at a 4th of July parade and left the parade with no parents. I don't know what else we all need to hear. My biggest regret, Tanya and Elaine, is that I've waited until I was running for my life with my beautiful baby to take more of a stand. I'll regret that for forever. I've always voted. I reshared causes on social media that I feel passionate about, but it's not enough. Simply voting is not enough. We need to get involved with organizations who help with gun laws and gun reform. I just urge other parents, don't be me. Don't wait to be in the situation running for your life to get more involved. It's horrifying, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone or any family.
Are those your plans then, Brittany? You're going to join sort of organizations that support gun reform? Tell us more about what you plan to do, being proactive about this.
Absolutely. Later this afternoon, I'm off to a community center to write postcards. My husband and I have reached out to a few organizations to get more guidance on how to mobilize a community that is hungry and devastated for change. I grew up in Highland Park. Like I said, I chose to raise my family here. This is a community of action takers, progressive thinkers, and change makers. You bet, Highland Park, you'll be hearing from our community. We are not going to stand down. We are going to make a change. A 4th of July parade, our schools, barbecues, synagogues, churches, these should be safe community areas, and they're not in this country. And we're going to change that. I'm a pissed off mom. That's what I'm here to say. I'm nobody. I'm not political. I'm not an actor. I'm a mom who waited. It's too late. I'm late. And I just hope another mother doesn't make my mistake. Join now. Don't wait.
Well, your anger is very understandable. Brittany Wroblewski, we thank you so much for joining us. And again, we are, very happy that you and your family were okay. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.